Uh-oh, this right here is not a good sign. As a lot of people are saying, this is what's going to be happening and increasing from here, as it definitely does look like we are in a bit of a predicament. As some people are saying, we got to send in this hefty boy to fix the problem. As, I don't think that's going to work here, as right now we're in a war. A war that this administration is trying to desperately sell. Their messaging is off, as Glenn Beck now just dug up the corpse of George Washington and defiled him on national television in order to sell you these bastardized ideas of peace through strength. War is peace. Said in 1984 here, as my goodness, golly gracious, are we living in an ever so bewildering, crazy, insane time. Hey, George Washington, are you kidding me? The defiling of the corpse here was done in a very non-ceremonious, non-good way. We'll go over all of it, as well as the actual true history here, not the bastardized 4D chess cockamamie type of delusion brought to you by Glenn Beck. Again, I had a lot of disagreements with Glenn Beck before, and this is going to be one of the bigger ones out there. If you appreciate our ability to talk about these particular videos, subscribe, click the notification button. We greatly appreciate everyone here on this brand new channel. As of course, the times are changing. Gas prices are going up. According to Politico, the White House is looking, quote, under every rock to lower gas prices. And here come the memes of J.D. Vance and Marco Rubio working on the oil fields, as, of course, they're pretty funny here. But the situation that we're dealing with is not funny, as energy prices are going up. There's conversations about Russia halting gas supplies to Europe, as, of course, global energy now is in demand. The price of it is going up and trade is destabilized here, as U.S. Central Command now is saying internally, according to Politico and their anonymous sources, believe it if it's true or not. We always question anonymous sources, but they're saying it's not going to be a few days, it's not going to be 4 weeks, it's not going to be 4 to 5 weeks, it's not going to be 8 weeks. According to their assessment, this conflict is going to last through September, which is showing you the analysis that I've kind of been giving you guys here, saying it's going to be up until September. I said that a few weeks ago, and now Politico is reporting it a couple days after we reported on it, actually a couple days ago. So we were ahead of the curve here, as of course the British government is coming out and saying, yeah, this conflict could continue for some time, confirming what we've been fearing here.
Forces who protect them come from all backgrounds too. We are united by our common humanity and our love of this country. This conflict could continue for some time. So I want you to know that your government is resolute in our response.
Yeah. The British were like, we're not giving you our islands. And they're like, okay, we'll give you the islands. The Spanish were asked by the U.S., hey, can we use your islands to refuel and to remobilize all of our troops and forces? The Spanish were like, no. America was like, we're cutting off our trade. The Spanish were like, okay, you can use our islands. Finicky, I would say the Europeans are when it comes to this entire conflict, as right now we are in a situation where the theater of war is escalating, as right now the Israeli army just ordered the evacuation of almost all of Beirut's southern suburbs. And it looks like the conflict there is involving, as Lindsey Graham is now demanding America be a part of that conflict as well here, as we are entering day 6 into this conflict, as of course it is widening. The Strait of Hormuz shut down, Amazon data centers hit, major airports closed. I know a lot of people that are stranded, even in Asia, because they use the Middle East as a major transportation hub to go in and out of, and those airports were closed. As Iran escalated on Turkey, on Israel, on Kuwait, UAE, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, as the United States here clearly isn't too sure about what's going on here, as the Iranian foreign minister tells NBC News that Iran is, quote, ready for a U.S. ground invasion. Is this bluff? Is this talking tough here? Again, we're in a war. The truth here usually takes a backseat to a lot of the kind of posturing, saber rattling, and disinformation campaigns that are extremely prevalent during these times of war.
Boots on the ground in Iran. Are you afraid of a U.S. invasion in your country?
No, we are waiting for them.
You are waiting for the U.S. military to invade the ground troops?
Yes, because we are confident that we can confront them, and that would be a big disaster for them.
So you're saying that Iran is ready and willing to take on the U.S. military if there were to be ground troops?
Well, we were ready for this war even more than the previous war. So you can see, the quality of our missiles, how much they are upgraded after the last war, because we learned lots of lessons. And we are prepared for any other eventuality, even, a ground invasion. So our soldiers are prepared for any scenario. When I said that we are waiting for them, it didn't mean that we are waiting for continuation of the war. No, but we have prepared ourselves to confront with any scenario, with any eventuality, any possibility, and we know that we can handle that.
Are your allies Russia and China helping you?
Well, they are supporting us politically and otherwise.
As the question remains here, what's going to happen next? Of course, the Iranians aren't doing a full conventional war. They're doing unconventional war that, of course, also includes now global jihad. We'll talk about that, how Americans are unsafer. The situation here that I think really is worth talking about is the price of this war is really starting to get into a lot of people's minds, as now Glenn Beck did the unthinkable to sell this war. We'll get into that and a lot more. Just really quickly before we do, one ad read during the video, and that, of course, is for LukeUnfiltered.com. Why? Because we don't take money from Qatar. We don't take money from Israel. We don't take money from any special interest groups. We take money from you. Your support, your donations mean a lot, especially during these key crucial times. 20 cents a day, $8 a month means the world to us, and you get access to the full t-shirts. If you're a member, you could get this shirt. You can't get this shirt unless you're a member. We only have 2 shirts up for the general public. This one that says always anti-war, and this one that says America first, no foreign wars. Again, we have hoodies, we have V-necks, we have women's shirts, we have all the shirts that you could possibly imagine to represent your type of messaging, which I think is more important than ever, as the discourse, the conversations do matter. LukeUnfiltered.com is where we also talk on the Discord. I was talking to you guys whenever I go live. I try to send it in there. I just did an interview with NBC News. I'm going to be talking about that on the Discord here in a little bit here, but you get access to a lot of really cool, awesome, incredible features. Sign up to LukeUnfiltered.com. Too many features to mention. Thousands of videos centered around helping you become the best, strongest, most amazing version of yourself. And when they clamp down and destroy free speech totally, which they're going to do soon, when they do that, the only place you could see us and hear us, we secured, because again, we're censorship proof on LukeUnfiltered.com. Your support helps us make that possible. LukeUnfiltered.com. Sign up now. It's more important than ever, because I think we're reaching a crescendo moment where we're all just going to be cut off and censored from just expressing any type of opinion that isn't approved by the state soon. Anyway, LukeUnfiltered.com. Sign up. As there's even a Fox News poll talking about how the president's handling of Iran has made the U.S., according to 51% of Fox News viewers, registered voters, less safe. Obviously, there's a situation now about Iranian tactics that would be done and utilized in unconventional forms of warfare that they've been practicing since 2003-4. As Leroy Johnson says, we are at war with multiple different terrorist countries, and according to federal intelligence agencies, multiple sleeper cells are in the United States waiting to, quote, be activated. That is true. Local police departments are on edge here, as, of course, there's a lot of propaganda being sent around here. Lives are being lost here. Some of the times the lives are being lost by accident, but human life is being lost here. And that, to me, is a tragedy. It's not just a human price we're paying, it's an actual price we're paying. As according to some data analysts, we have spent $5.3 billion on this war in just 6 days, about $1 billion a day, $41 million per hour. That's a lot of money, not including some of the deeper kind of more accounting for a lot of the advanced missile systems that we are using and utilizing here. Now, a lot of people are having questions about what's going on here, because the messaging from this administration has been kind of prolonging the timeline and then kind of being a little bit inconsistent with their kind of rationale and reasons to why this is really happening. First, it was because Israel was going to attack first, then Iran was going to attack first, and then no, Iran was going to actually attack Israel first. And then we had to step in. Marco Rubio said one thing, and the next day completely contradicted himself in this weird type of Orwellian statement as the messaging has been awful. In comes Glenn Beck, who's like, the founding fathers, George Washington, who was a non-interventionist. He would have approved this war, right? Let's make an AI version of him saying yes.
George, we are...
He's talking to a fictional character that he developed and he made that he's running through, like, artificial intelligence systems.
trying to not fight foreign wars and not be involved in the world's policemen. But there are times...
We're involved in foreign wars. We're the world's policemen, and people are making the argument. America, we're the number one power. We have to do this. There's people who are allies of this administration, and people in this administration saying, we're number one. We got to do this. Look, we're strong. Look at the messaging by Stephen Miller today, saying, no. We didn't oppose wars. We just didn't like that the military is woke. Now it's not woke. That's why we have a good military now to enforce our will on the world.
Times that we have to demonstrate strength in order to prevent conflict. But
we're not doing that. We're just jumping to the conflict part, Glenn. We're not demonstrating strength. We're using strength. That's a big distinction there, Glenn. And you see Glenn, like, the wheels are turning in his head. He's like, how do I spin this?
I don't know where the foreign entanglement begins and where it ends.
It begins with us bombing places, taking out leaders in the middle of the night and telling countries, do what we say or we're going to bomb you.
When I was president, I did not crave power. I didn't strut in my uniform, dreaming of conquest. In fact, I begged several times to not be the general and not be the president. I didn't want it, but I understood my responsibility. And I also understood that some things that are easy to forget when you're staring down bayonets. Peace is not the default.
Where's the bayonets? The Iranians not have bayonets, really? What?
It has to be guarded deliberately with foresight and strength.
Yeah. Peace to strength. War is peace. Get out of here. George Washington would have never made those arguments. And to like defile his legacy and to destroy historical context and understanding of who he really was, to push this war is bastardized to say the least.
My generation lived through a fragile independence. Our new republic was surrounded, literally and figuratively, by instability. Most of the founders believed that we would not survive to 1820. We thought it was an interesting experiment. European powers were sniffing the opportunities, states were threatening to splinter, loyalists were lurking. None of this was hypothetical. It was the daily background noise of early America.
America was as great and as safe as it was, mainly because of our kind of separation away from Europe, which was pretty far away. And it was very costly for European countries to travel all the way and have enough resources and enough troops and enough material to go take over and conquer foreign lands. That's what made America kind of prosper on its own. It's kind of geography type of situation that made it very difficult to invade, to attack, especially from foreign, far-off lands. Some people are making that same kind of argument right now about the difficulties of the Americans trying to get this job done, as of course we're fighting with allies over the use of their islands now.
So how did you
politically fighting
protect that freedom?
Well, you said it, through strength.
Yeah, oh my God, yeah. George Washington decided to send his troops over to the Middle East because someone said something bad. Get out of here!
Weakness didn't just invite disagreement, it invited disunion.
America's geography allowed us to have peace.
And I had already seen what happens to authority when it is too diluted. The Continental Congress couldn't pay the troops, they couldn't enforce unity or act decisively. That kind of vacuum doesn't stay empty. Either chaos fills it or another power does. And that's why I often emphasize the importance of demonstrating readiness. Not because I wanted conflict, but to discourage those who did. I said once, to prepare for war.
Discourage conflict. We're in conflict. We're in the war. Our troops are there.
War is one of the most effective means of preserving peace. That's not saber rattling. That's different. It's insurance. Think of it like this.
Imagine being Glenn Beck. Like, hey, you're going to look here and nod and pretend like George Washington's there.
A homeowner who never locks their door.
Why do they put him in a t-shirt? Like, why is he wearing like this like cheap, flimsy, like, bro, this is how you're going to pick the founding father?
Isn't more peaceful, they're just more vulnerable. By showing potential adversaries that the United States could stand united, respond quickly, and protect its liberties that it understands.
What liberties are we protecting from the Iranians that are aggressing against our freedoms? What freedoms are the Iranians going after from the Americans? I'm sorry, but that's what the government does. The government tramples on our liberties and freedoms, not the Iranians.
I believed conflict could be prevented before it exploded. And this wasn't abstract. During
now you're even just bastardizing his own words. Like, the conflict's already here, bro.
the revolution, even some Virginian leaders wanted to keep pursuing negotiations with Britain. But I came to recognize long before it became popular
This is not the Iranians aren't invading us like the British
that some risks
and taxing us without representation.
had to be met with resolve,
That's the Epstein class.
not appeasement. And there is a world of difference between aggression and deterrence. I knew the line, I walked it, and I tried to draw a system that could do the same.
Are you kidding me? Everyone's like, are you effing serious? Tom Elliott. I remember in his farewell address, Washington specifically saying we should have an aggressive interventionist foreign policy. Bradley Martin. What the F is this? Eden Paladin. Christ preserved me. This is satanic, Glenn. Olivia. What the F? Huge L, dude. Cringe. This is foolish. This is funny. When I said avoid foreign entanglements, that includes... oh my goodness. People are saying boomers are going to eat this slop up. And this is hilarious. The avatar I created agrees with me. Yeah, of course they do. Charles Bitwell. This is deeply grotesque and forces one to question whether your IQ reaches third digit. 10 out of 10 on the pathetic scale. Iran never threatened us, even after Reagan gave them thousands of Tau missiles. The number one violator of our freedom in Washington, D.C. Tony Rigatoni says George Washington would look at traitors like you with disdain or worse. That's what I said. I said George Washington would have backhanded to Glenn Beck for wanting a foreign war. The red-headed libertarian that has an understanding of the founding of this country and our constitutional principles. She studied this stuff. It's one of her main issues of concern here. Says this is a shining example of why personal bias should be nowhere near AI coding. What a shameless attempt to smear George Washington. In 1793, Washington issued a neutrality proclamation for the French Revolution. He supported the Jay Treaty to end disputes and avoid war with Britain the following year. Washington's overall goal was to protect the national independence and avoid expensive and deadly wars that could jeopardize the new republic. Not only was George Washington unequivocally a non-interventionist president, but the Article II powers, which the Iran War was initiated under, weren't even defined until 1973. I don't know why Glenn Beck would torch his credibility over this, but I will not be aiding in this AI perversion of George Washington's legacy in order to pacify neocons and justify permanent alliances and foreign entanglements, the likes of which Washington himself explicitly warned against in his farewell address. Yeah. The community know AI is not a reliable source of history, and especially not the actual viewpoints of a long dead historical figure. As listen, the propaganda war is heating up, right? There's like news reports of people being paid to spread propaganda that are not even getting paid anymore. There's a lot of other things happening right now when it comes to trying to sell this war. There's a lot of other kind of incidences that are being told to us about what's going to be kind of happening here. We're going to do another video on this. Thank you so much for watching, subscribing, signing up to LukeUnfiltered.com. I'm sorry you have to deal with this level of derangement, but that's where we are at. Subscribe, click the notification button. Stay tuned for more, all here exclusively, youtube.com/Luke Rudowski 76.